Kelsey at the movies, yay!
Chaos Walking. We were not familiar with this movie, this adaptation of a young adult sci-fi novel series. I saw a trailer with Tom Holland from Spider-Man, Daisy Ridley from Star Wars, and I was like, oh, this looks interesting. Then we watched the trailer, and I think we were kind of confused.
Well, because it wasn't really a trailer, remember?
Well,
it was
watched
just a clip from the movie.
Yeah, it was on Flickster, and it was just a clip from the movie, and had no context, and it was kind of confusing. But, if I see Tom Holland and Daisy Ridley in something, I'm a little bit intrigued. We liked the sci-fi genre.
Spider-Man, Empress Palpatine, I was ready.
I don't want to give away too much. Now, after seeing the movie, I've been to their website and Facebook page and whatnot, and they actually have a lot of trailers that give a whole lot more information than what we saw, which was almost nothing. But I feel like not knowing all the information made the movie a little more fun.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, I have no idea what's going to happen. I just know this is in the sci-fi genre. All I want to say is that it is sci-fi. It takes place on another planet. There is this thing of, it's called chaos walking, of where people's thoughts can be heard by other people. And so I don't feel like that's giving away too much. Kelsey, go wait or skip. Oh, we saw this at the movie theater too. So I feel like we should say that. We saw this at AMC. Kelsey, go wait or skip.
Well, I mean, I say... What are you going to say?
Why? Does that matter?
I actually never think about this before you ask me, right during the thing. Right. I mean, I think about the movie, but I never think go wait or skip. I'm going to say go see this movie. Look, here's the truth. I enjoyed the movie the whole time. I wasn't bored. It has Spider-Man in it. It has Ray in it. There's no other movies out. Go see this movie. It's fun. It's sci-fi. It's interesting. I was not bored.
I'm going to say wait on this movie. And so, like Kelsey, I also did enjoy it. I found it, I think it's categorized as sci-fi suspense thriller. And I thought it checked those boxes. There were definitely lots of scenes in it I thought was suspenseful. It was a original to me, at least. Yeah. I hadn't thought about this whole concept and so I thought it was interesting, but there was something kind of missing to it. Maybe it lacked a kind of depth, and so I don't think it's life-changing. A lot of other people, I saw reviews for it, they said they described it as just being a little too on the nose. But, I'm going to say the target audience for this isn't hoity-toity movie critics. It's young adults, right? This came out of
people like us.
And I thought we've seen the Maze Runner movie adaptations from that series, and I thought it was at least better than the second and third installment of that. It's been a long time since I saw the first Maze Runner, which I was intrigued by because it was an interesting kind of concept, and I liked how that unfolded. I thought that this was similar, if not better than that. So that's why, but it's not particularly great. So I'm just you know what? You can wait on this.
Spoilers. Here's the most pressing issue that I can wonder about after seeing this movie. Who's more lovable, Spider-Man or Ray from Star Wars, right? Because throughout this whole movie, I'm like, which one of these people am I supposed to like the most? And then I was like, which one of these people do I preconceived already like the most? And I couldn't answer it. Rachel, so who do you like more? Tom Holland from Spider-Man or Daisy Ridley from Star Wars? Who do you have the feeling of love more for?
Well, I mean, just to...
It's hard. Spider-Man
answer that
or Ray?
Honestly, I think it's going to be Tom Holland, but it's only because... most recently, in Spider-Man, and now in this movie that I just saw last night, he is playing a character that is more vulnerable, shares more of himself. You get to see his experience. My most recent, experience with Daisy Ridley's character in Star Wars, which would be the Rise of Skywalker, and then in this movie. her character didn't have the like breadth of like that experience. Like I didn't get to see her character really grow and like be in kind of awkward situations. I mean, Tom Holland, I mean, in Spider-Man and in this movie is kind of just made for this. And so that can kind of talk about that in this movie. Tom Holland, Daisy Ridley can hear all of his thoughts because...
can you imagine the nightmare that would be?
But he can't hear hers. So apparently there has been some kind of exodus from Earth where people are traveling. They land on this planet, and when they land on this planet, all the men's thoughts are available to be seen all the time.
Yikes.
They call it noise in the movie. It's why it's called chaos walking, because everybody can be silent, but you hear this noise all the time from their thoughts. But not the women. The women's thoughts remain private. So imagine you're a young boy, young man, and you have your first crush, and you're spending lots of time with her as you guys flee through this planet. Oh, by the way, she can hear everything you're thinking. So that just lent itself to a lot of relatable and funny situations.
Yeah, it's actually an interesting concept that they gave us on the big screen. And honestly, the performances between the two lead characters was really great. I think it carries the movie because you are drawn to both Daisy Ridley and Tom Holland's characters in the movie. And I don't know, I'm ready for the sequel. What's going to happen in the sequel? Are you going to start having dirtier thoughts, Tom Holland? Because that's what I was wondering.
Well, the thoughts that you got to see here of Tom Holland's, or his character, Todd, Todd's thoughts were rather innocent. We will say that. So, like, it was cute. Like, when he was like, girl, it's a girl, it's a girl. Like, that's because he had grown up on this planet, and what you find out is in this settlement. Later on, you find out in this settlement. We're already getting spoilers. You would not want to know this ahead of time. But there are no women where he lives. So he's never seen a girl before. So he's really like, and he keeps calling her hair yellow. He's like, yellow hair, it's a girl. But I told Kelsey, I was like, well, he never said just like, his thought was just never boobs. Like, which I would imagine, I've made up a story that is boys / man's thoughts, just like boobs, like often. But that didn't come up for him. But I was like, I don't know, maybe he didn't know about boobs because he had not grown up with women around. I don't know. But his thoughts, did seem kind of innocent.
Yeah, and I like the other thing, too, you say after we watched the movie. I feel like you gave a pretty good short synopsis, a very short review of what you thought this movie could boil down to, at least the main issues in this movie. And it was, how effing convenient. Go, Rachel.
Yeah, so after we saw this movie, if we get into like what kind of failed in this movie and why it lacked like a certain kind of depth, it had two primary villains in the movie, right? I'm going to call them villains. I don't know what else you call them.
Antagonists.
Okay, thank you. Two primary antagonists in the movie, and when it got to the end, it was like, let's just write something really quickly to get them out of the way. I mean, it just didn't make any sense, and it really took away from what they had built up for these characters and just cut it out like at the knees. Yeah. So I wasn't a fan of that.
How effing convenient, movie maker, writer, that you had to just...
Well, that's what I said. I was like, convenient.
It's like the end of the movie, they didn't really know where to go with it, although it's based on a book. It's probably a better book.
Well, I think it's hard when you have a series, like the novels are series, and then so you're in a movie and you want to leave it open for a sequel, but you also need it to end in some way. And I did think that it kind of just, the end was,
I'll tell you what I like to see, though, what a good thing of this movie is. I like when I see that, like, actors that I recognize as one specific person, like Ray or Spider-Man, when I see them in other things and they're good at it, I'm like, good for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
because this movie had recognizable people in it. It had Nick Jonas in it, who played a side character and was really of not any big consequence.
And it had...
I wonder if he's going to be in the sequels.
Did you see the other Star Wars connection?
Jyn. Right?
Galen?
Jyn
Erso. Galen Erso. Jyn Erso's father.
Sorry, yeah, Jyn Erso's father.
We got there together.
We did it. So, he was in there. Yeah, I had, like, big, like, some stars in it. I enjoyed it. The movie, something else I really did like was the suspense of the movie. More than once, I was sitting next to Kelsey, like, there was a lot of falling suspense where I was like, what? You're going to fall off this cliff? And then they did, and it was suspenseful, that kind of stuff. Yeah. That was like all throughout the movie. Huge, like Mark Against's movie. I don't need to see somebody drown a dog. How about that?
Yeah, I never wanted to see someone drown a dog. Never needed it. Didn't want it to happen while it was happening. Didn't really it didn't serve any purpose in the movie.
That's the thing, where it lacks depth. If you're going to have something that awful happen in a movie, it needs to affect the characters in kind of a big way, their character arc.
Yeah,
and this they tried. They tried because you're seeing Todd like go through, and she can hear all his thoughts, and he's like, don't cry, be a man, it's weakness. Like, this is his self-talk in his head. But we didn't get to see him like really deal with that, because this is kind of a major thing. And for the viewer, it's awful, like, you know? Mm-hmm. So yeah, you can miss us on that. We don't want to see it anymore, okay? We're done.
We're done. Face it, movie maker, you're done.
Hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. And yeah, I don't know what else to say.
Like, comment, and subscribe.